Hi, during the summer, my family and I took a road trip to Odisha. While planning for our trip, we realized how daunting it may seem to go to Odisha by car. After all, many of us are used to a simple 2-hour flight. But much to our surprise, driving to Odisha was pretty simple and fun. To help any other aspiring road trippers going to Odisha, we created this video, which goes through our planning process and time on the road. Just wanted to mention that all the content in this video is intended for informational purposes. It has nothing to do with any kind of promotional activities. The journey to Odisha is not a quick and easy trip. It can take anywhere between 23 to 26 hours to reach, depending on your traffic. We were a bit luckier and our trip took about 23 hours. Since it was a long travel, we decided to split it into 2 legs. Our first one started from our home in Bangalore to Rajahmundry. This stretch took about 13 hours. Our second stretch would be from Rajahmundry to Odisha. We decided to stop in a hotel in Rajahmundry that was near NH16, the highway that you'll be driving on the most during the trip. By booking a hotel near the highway, we were able to avoid any city traffic while leaving Rajahmundry the next day. Here is a list of our road trip essentials, first being water bottles, then first aid medicine such as pain relievers, allergy medicines, or anything for motion sickness since it is a long journey in the car. Be sure to keep a portable tire inflator just in case you encounter a flat tire on the way. The rest are optional, but in my opinion very essential for a road trip. Typically, on long journeys, it is better to start early in the morning, possibly around 4:30 to 5 a.m., but we were unable to start around that time due to problems with packing. After an hour and a half of unloading and reloading the car again and again, we finally began our trip at 6 a.m. We are about to turn onto our first highway of the trip, NH75, and then a couple minutes later, we approached our first toll gate. Before starting your trip to Odisha, make sure your fast tags are loaded. There will be many of these toll gates along the way. Some kilometers away, you will encounter Highway Star, which is a great place to stop for a while to pick up any food for the journey or to fill your car up with petrol. From our starting point in Bangalore, it is around 75 kilometers away. If you want, you can also enter it into your Google Maps as Highway Star. We stopped at Nandi Garden Restaurant around 9:15 for breakfast. This restaurant is on NH69, and after this highway we turned on to NH40, which is also known as NH140. So how is the road quality? For many, this is the most asked question before going on a long road trip like ours. For majority of the trip, 99% of the roads will be smooth and scenic without much construction, like the roads you'll see here. But the route that we took diverted from NH140 and went through Tirupati Bypass Road. For the next 100 kilometers after the diversion, we faced construction, bumpy roads, and little traffic. But compared to the roads we were used to in Bangalore, this stretch of the journey was not too bad. The rough part was over once we literally rose onto NH16. From here on out, the roads will go back to being smooth, scenic, and overall enjoyable to ride on. I did want to mention that soon after arriving on NH16, there will be a McDonald's on the opposite side of the road. So if you do want to stop, you just have to park the car on the side of the road you're on and cross over on. But if you do not want to stop, there will be a cafe coffee day after Nellore. We stopped there and filled up the gas while waiting for our drinks. The addresses are included on the receipt. Along the way, there might be a bit of construction. Traffic cones are placed on the road in an orderly manner, so you'll face no problem while driving. Here is Skyview, a great place to take a break from all of your driving. It is built on top of a toll gate, and while we did not go in, we've heard many great reviews of this restaurant/lounge. Similar facilities are also being built near or on top of toll gates along the way. Before reaching Vijayawada, we drove a bit around the city, and seeing all the buildings and shops was a nice break from the continuous scene of mountains, trees, and so much grass. We finally reached Vijayawada, where we were met with some traffic. But again, this was nothing in the face of the traffic we were used to in Bangalore. A little after passing through Vijayawada, we came across a restaurant named Crossroads. They had a wide variety of snacks, cakes, sweets, and a restaurant to eat food. This was our last stop for the day before continuing on to Rajahmundry in the night. Nighttime driving. Driving during the night was a bit of a difficulty for us. For one, as you can see here, almost every vehicle coming from the opposite side practically blinded us with their headlights. And on top of that, many vehicles going in the same lane as us did not have their own lights on, and the road at many times was pretty dark. Nonetheless, there were some spots where large signs of restaurants would light up the path for us, and some parts also had streetlights. But in our opinion, driving during the night would not be the best idea. We reached Rajahmundry around 8:30 p.m. and stopped at a place called Habitat, where we had our dinner before returning to the hotel. We returned to Habitat in the morning for breakfast, and I do want to mention that Habitat is on NH16, so it's easy for us to grab breakfast from here and quickly continue our journey. Habitat is a great place to stop on your trip. It has barista, a coffee shop, pizza, and a dining area upstairs. Before entering Odisha, we stopped at one last cafe coffee day. We entered Odisha around 3 p.m. and we took a detour to Gopalpur beach from NH16 and had our lunch at Mayfair before continuing on to Bhubaneswar. We reached Bhubaneswar around 8:30 p.m. After a quick stop at Gopalpur beach, we continued our journey to Bhubaneswar. This is our trip details. It has our running time, the petrol prices in Bangalore, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha, as well as our toll details, the number of toll gates, and the toll fee one way. Here's some advice. Make sure to fill up your car with petrol. The petrol price in Andhra is pretty high. Ensure your FASTag has enough money for the trip. When booking a hotel, stay as close to NH16 as you can to avoid any city traffic the next day. And finally, try to cover a longer distance on the first day. We enjoyed our stay in Odisha, and the trip back home to Bangalore was similar, except we stayed in Vijayawada. Here are some clips from the ride back home for you. It's raining, guys.
Too much rain.
So much rain.
Yeah, too much rain.
Finally made it close to Bangalore. We're here. We're finally here. But overall, it was a great experience and definitely would do it again. Thank you.